What's going on, guys? It's Lewis here with Crypto Leads, and today is Monday, September 19th, 2022, and I'm going to do another market update today, and this is actually going to be a big market update. I know people want shorter videos, and I will make shorter videos, but I just want to make this one because I realize that I have not gone through all of the big fundamental type indicators that I used to look at all the time, such as the crypto Bitcoin Bullrun index, the Pi cycle indicator, the MVRV-Z score, the RHODL ratio, the Bitcoin rainbow chart, which it looks, oh my God, I just noticed this. Look at this. They added, he changed it up. 1 BTC equals 1 BTC between 0 and $19,208. Wow, I did not realize that I just looked at this and there you go. So I guess they added another color to the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Too ridiculous. This is too funny. And it's true though. This is true though. 1 BTC equals 1 BTC. And look, it doesn't matter as long as the price isn't 0. 1 BTC equals 1 BTC. And honestly, I see Bitcoin going to $240,000 plus for the next cycle, if not even higher. And so buying anything under $19,000, $20,000 is still a steal in my opinion. And so that's why I am dollar cost averaging, and I'm going over the different strategies that I'm doing the strategies that I go over and I teach you guys about. So wow, I didn't realize that happened. But yeah, this is one of the things that I want to go over, along with the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. And the, I guess the funding rates, but the funding rates are really, really short term. So with saying that, let's go into today's market update and go over all of this fundamental stuff, see where we are, and then compare that with the total market cap, the dominance levels, and then we could get into the actual price action. And I will have timestamps down below if you just want to see Bitcoin, if you just want to see Ethereum, if you just want to see, particular cryptocurrencies or a particular type of analysis, then click the timestamps below. All right, so let's get into this. First thing that I look at is the CBBI, which is the Bitcoin Bullrun Index. And this is an index that utilizes advanced real-time analysis of 9 metrics to help us understand what stage of the Bitcoin bullrun and bear market cycles we're in. The confidence score indicates whether we are approaching the top or the bottom of a blow-off Bitcoin cycle. Right now we're at 6, which clearly is very, very, very low. And down below, you can see the actual chart. And this is where we are. We actually got to 5 on September 6th, and we got to 4 on September 8th. Let's just look at the price really quickly. What was on September 8th? Where was that? June, July. Interesting how on the 6th and the 8th, the price was higher, and yet the CBBI was lower than what it is now. Very, very interesting. But basically, I have it as if this is under 5, it's pretty much just start dollar cost averaging, longer term investment account, and then sell on pops up, but really try to collect as much as possible. Try to collect as much crypto as possible. And because this was 3 in 2018, that was the bottom. And then in 2019, 4 indicated the bottom. In 2015, it was basically a 0, or not basically, it was a 0 that indicated the bottom. And then a 2, and basically anything under 5 was really, really, really good of an indication that it was a good time to buy. So I look at this, and considering that this right now is a 6, to me, that is a great time to be dollar cost averaging. But like I said, because of the macro situation right now, I do still think that we have a lot more downside to go. And I do expect Bitcoin to go down to 12,000, 10,000. And when regulation comes out, it might even go down to 5,000 or below. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good time to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. And that's exactly one of the strategies that I'm doing in different accounts. And then I sell on the pops up, and then I continue to dollar cost average. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing that because the CBBI is at a 6, and it's very, very low. So that's one reason why. Secondly, we have the Pi cycle top indicator, and this just obviously is the top, so it's not relevant right now, but it did show the top back here at around 55K, and back here at around, what was this, like 13? No, this was at like 18, 19K. So this has accurately showed the top. So even though this probably won't be relevant for another 3 years or 4 years or so, I do want to just remind you and remind myself, like, hey, don't forget about this, because you should use this like even later down the road. Anyway, so that's the Pi cycle top indicator. There is a Pi cycle bottom indicator. So there is that, but I haven't really looked at that. And the reason why I don't really use the Pi cycle bottom indicator, but I do use the Pi cycle top indicator, is because the top indicator has worked flawlessly twice, but the bottom indicator as of July 2022 has been invalidated. So that's the reason why I don't use the Pi cycle bottom, but I do use other indicators. So going on to the other indicators, let's look at the MVRV-Z score. So the MVRV-Z score, obviously green is buy zone, pink and red is the sell zone. And I was really hoping to get into the red zone, but whatever. We are in the green zone. We got into the green zone when Bitcoin reached around $20,300. That's when we entered into the green zone, and we've basically been in the green zone everywhere underneath every price underneath 23,000 or 21,000, let's say 21,000. As long as the price is under 21,000, it's in the green zone. And to me, the green zone, that's the zone to be dollar cost averaging. That's the zone to be expecting not much. I don't expect that much. I don't expect huge price swings up or necessarily huge price swings down, although I wouldn't be surprised to have huge price swings down. I'd be a lot more surprised to see huge price swings up from this area, because once we reached this area, this dragged on, and this became the accumulation stage. Same thing back here. This became the accumulation stage. So last cycle, we were at 6,000 for quite a while. We dumped, and that's when we got into the green zone on the MVRV-Z score. And then what happened is we had the accumulation for months on end, months and months and months, from $3,000 to around $5,000, $5,500 before we finally broke above. So in this case, we were ranging above the green zone at around 30K, and then we dumped down to $20,000, $19,000, $18,000, $17,000. And as long as we're under let's say $21,000, we're in that accumulation zone. So I think that this is the accumulation zone, anything from $21,000 all the way down to 5K, basically down to zero. It's the accumulation game for the big whales to start to be accumulating. That is what I believe to be happening right now. And that's why I accumulate now, and I sell on the pops up, but I continue to accumulate. So we have the MVRV-Z score, and then we have the RHODL ratio. So now we have the RHODL ratio, and in the RHODL ratio, this is obviously in the green zone is the buy zone, and then in the pink zone is the sell zone. And this is the big macro picture. We got to remember all these things are for big macro picture stuff. So last cycle, we were at 6K, we dumped down to 3, and that is when we got into the RHODL ratio being in the green. And for this cycle, it was pretty much getting into the green once we hit that 23,000, 21,000, basically the same type of price that the MVRV score had. So now we are in the green on the RHODL ratio. So this is the area where typically you buy in, you dollar cost average in within this area, and then you expect the accumulation to happen within this area. Now, within this area doesn't mean the price is, just stagnant or just within a 20% up and down variation, because remember, this hit the green and it was $300. It went down to $200. It went down to $200. So it lost a third. It lost 33% of its value, but it was still within the green. So we could easily lose another 33, 40, 50% value of Bitcoin, dare I say, 50% goes down to $10,000, yeah, I could totally see that happening. We would still obviously be in the green. We would still be in the accumulation zone. So this is why I'm not jumping in so heavy, because we literally just hit this, you know, we just hit this. Unless there's a catalyst or some narrative at play, then I'll jump in. But usually that's not for Bitcoin. Usually that's for you know, other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum with the merge, and Atom with its upgrades that were happening. And that's what you really have to that's what you have to play, in my opinion. But yeah, this is in the green, so it's in the DCA zone. Now let's go to the Bitcoin Rainbow chart, which is in the basically a fire sale zone right now. So we got this basically in a fire sale. Usually when it hits basically in a fire sale zone, that is the time to buy. It has reached, you know, underneath of it once, I believe, or twice. I want to say 2 times now. 2 times, once in 2015 and once in 2020, it reached below the basically a fire sale price. But once again, basically fire sale price using this type of chart, this logarithmic chart, great time to be dollar cost averaging into crypto. And without expecting it, here's the thing: you could dollar cost average into crypto, but don't expect it to jump up right away. Like, you have to be realistic with this. This could take years. This could take multiple years. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, regulation is coming out next year. A whole bunch of stuff is happening. You got to be willing to play it so that you don't have to have the money. You don't have to have money that you invest into this, because you don't know what could happen. I don't think it's going to zero. I think eventually it's going to come all the way back up here. You know, I really do. I really sincerely do. And that's why I am in this. That's the only reason why I'm in this. If I believe that crypto was, you know, like fail and go to zero and never come back and that's it, I wouldn't be in crypto. This is a lifelong thing. It's going to be here forever. And I'm super stoked to be part of it. So that's why I'm in it. And so even if it drops down here, as long as the fundamentals are still the same, gotta keep on going into good projects. And so that's the Bitcoin Rainbow price chart. Once again, it is hilarious how they added this purple thing into here. And now we have the Fear and Greed Index. Right now it's at 21. That doesn't really tell me anything, because I only buy if it's under 15. And I only sell if it's over 85. So this is just saying, yeah, there's some fear. It's mostly fearful in the market, but it doesn't give me a bias to buy or sell. And that's pretty much it. Then we have the funding rate. The funding rate is all negative, so it's paying people to go long. So most people are short, and probably a good idea or to go counter trend. So to go counter funding rates. So probably a good idea to go long, but we'll have to look at the charts for that. And so that is the 1, 2, 3. That is the CBBI, the MVRV-Z score, the RHODL ratio, the Bitcoin Rainbow chart, the Fear and Greed Index, and the funding rates. And those are just some of the bigger picture things that I look at just to keep a bigger picture frame of what's happening in crypto. And that doesn't have to do with the exact charts, you know, looking at the charts on TradingView and everything like that. So with that being said, let's go into the actual charts now and try to get some more detail into where we're going and maybe some more accurate price predictions. Okay, so we're starting off on the total market cap, and honestly, looks like a great beginning to the week where we got this swing below the lows followed by a move up, and now we're back within the previous weekly range. So things are looking pretty good. If we go down to the daily chart, you can see it a little bit more clearly. We pretty much have the top, then we have the bottom, and now we have this swing below it. And you could even argue that back here was the bottom. And yeah, this is right above. This is right above here. So on the 12-hour, it's looking pretty good, looking pretty decent. So if this is the case, then I'd expect the crypto market cap to continue to move up. Let's go to the dominance levels, though. Remember last time I said that the dominance levels right up here, usually when the dominance levels reach this area of resistance, that's pretty indicative of the entire market going down, and the entire market has been going down drastically, like really, really badly. And it looks like we're honestly, for the dominance levels, looks like we're sort of just getting that retrace back up into the resistance, fall back below, break the market structure again before we retrace back up. But according to this, I would expect continuation lower just off of the dominance levels. And of course, Bitcoin dominance, the inverse of the altcoin dominance, is going to go up, and that isn't necessarily the best thing for the crypto in total. So let's go to the actual charts, look at Bitcoin, and we're going to look at Bitcoin right here. What I do is I plot the range. So I'll plot the bigger range on this particular chart, and the bigger range that I see on this chart is pretty much, honestly, let me do this real quick. It's pretty much this. So on that higher time frame market structure based range, we have the high up here, we got the low down here, and let me do this. Let me turn this to the range. There you go. We got the range, and yeah, just how on the weekly range we went below and then came back above. We actually did the same on the higher time frame market structure range where we went below and we went above. So that's pretty good for Bitcoin. And let me go to the monthly chart, look at the monthly chart, see if there's anything else that I could really see here. Yeah, I guess the one thing that I don't really like on the monthly chart is how September is still below the previous closes of the previous, monthly closes. And that, of course, isn't that good, because if we go down, form a base, and then close below it, then that's obviously bearish, and I wouldn't want that. I would like to see it close literally anywhere above $19,944 to be a lot more bullish. And just going down to the weekly chart, we have, let me do this. We have the weekly range like so. Okay, so we got the middle of the range right here at around 21,000. We got the top of the range up here just at 22,800, and we have the bottom of the range down here at $19,300. So this is pretty much it, and you know what? We're in the support zone, so this is longing area. This is the area to long to shoot for possibly the mid-range at 21,000. And then we can go down into the lower time frames to potentially see other setups. And so this is the 12-hour right here. You could see that the RSI and the stochastic RSI are pretty oversold right now. You could also see that the MACD is moving up, and this is actually a really good indication right here that it is moving up. So we'll see what happens. The thing that I don't like is that it broke below this this breaker right here, and so that became invalid. And so now we have to dissect this and see what's really going on. And so if you ask me, this is what I think is happening. I think we have the, we came into the lows right here. This is the obvious lows of this entire range right here. And it's not the lows down here, but it's the ones that were more obvious, right? And we basically bounced off of that. We closed at the bottom, had a slight wick underneath of it, probably where a lot of people had their stops down here. So there's probably a lot of sell stop liquidity, and then it jumped up, right? So now what I would really want to see, what I would love to see, is a move up above this resistance right here at 19,500. However, I don't want to wait until it goes up and then try to get in there. What I would want to do is go down to a lower time frame and try to find an entry on a lower time frame. So on the 4 hour, I don't really see something on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, I do see something on the 1 hour though. So let's look at this. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour chart, I would probably want to get in right around $19,200, just above that area, because this would be a pretty good area for the retracement to come down to. You can see that we had the market structure going down, 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 lower highs, lower lows, and then finally it ended up breaking it. It broke it right here, came down to the support slash resistance flip area, and then broke it once again. So on the lower time frames, it's moving up, and now I expect at least a small retracement back to hopefully this area before a move up to here, if not up there, all the way to the highs. So this could be target 1, this could be target 2, this could be target 3, and you pretty much have to play it out like that. And the reason why I could target these areas super high is because on the higher time frames we have this area right here where all of this is happening. It's at the lows of the big macro structure. If I go back to the 12-hour, you could see it more clearly. It's the lows of the big macro structures where we had this bounce, and then we're at the lows of the weekly range. So because of that, I could target higher. If this was happening somewhere over here, like the targets wouldn't be or they wouldn't be as high percentage wise. And so this is pretty much the plan that I'm going to do for Bitcoin, just in case this happens. You could have your stop loss underneath here, but that actually, honestly, yeah, I would probably, I think raising my stop loss, raising the stop loss is would be a good idea, because I don't see it. I don't think it should come back down if we're going to maintain this bullish market structure momentum. And yeah, so I would target these 3 areas right here, and up here. And that gives you a 5.81 R trade setup. Okay, so now we could go into Ethereum. So let's look at Ethereum on the monthly chart. Let's get this out here. Well, actually, we don't really need to look at Ethereum on the monthly chart, because like, unless it's a new month, that's when the monthly chart like matters. We can say though that Ethereum on the monthly chart, according to last month, it is still below last month, which is not very good. So the monthly chart doesn't really look that good for Ethereum. And I really honestly wouldn't expect Ethereum to come up past, like, I don't know, 1600 or something like that, based off of the monthly chart. But the monthly charts, you know, this is crypto. Things move way more quickly than simply on the monthly charts. So let's go down to the weekly charts and see if there's a little bit of something there that we could look at. So this is the weekly chart. Basically down only, up, down, up, broke the market structure here, retraced to the 61.8, and then pumped. Well, actually, nope, never came down to the 61.8. Very disappointing. But it came down close to 61.8 before retracing back up. And now we had this huge move down last week, which broke the market structure on the weekly time frame to the downside right there. So I expect something, where's my little handy dandy tool? I would expect something like this to happen. So Ethereum to just under $1,600 before coming back down and tagging $12,300 and moving back up, or maybe there'll be a wick somewhere underneath there. But yeah, that's the main thing. So I am thinking that this week will be bullish, or we'll get a big, you know, wick up to at least like 1600. So I would target around the 1600 area on Ethereum. And so going down into the lower time frames, or not the lower time frames, but we're on the daily chart now. You could see that the weekly high was 1783, the weekly low was 1400. So we are still below the weekly low, and not only are we below the weekly low, but this honestly, like, I would say that this whole area where I outlined in green is pretty much the area that was not pretty much. This was the major support. So the fact that we did crash underneath of here, to me, we would need to come back above, which isn't the most wildish thing to think of, because this is the demand zone, or the zone, and this is the demand zone and the zone that has a lot of sell stop liquidity in it. So if we do get a pump up today, then that will be very bullish. If in the next 3 hours, we could see Ethereum move to above this area right here. So above $1,428, I'd be super, super bullish. Otherwise for Ethereum, honestly, I don't know if I'd be like the most bullish. The only bullish case I see on Ethereum is that this area was resistance, pushed back above it, finally came down to the resistance area, and now it went back above it like this. So I would say that this is really the final stance for Ethereum, because if it does happen to fall back down into this area, then it would be falling into this range right here between $993 and basically $1,250, somewhere around there. And yeah, if that happens, then the next target would be basically $1,000. So really, we need this push. We need this push to work. If this push does not work, then buy Ethereum, target $1,000. The good news is that on the 12-hour, we do have the oversold indicators, oversold RSI, oversold stochastic RSI, and the MACD moving up. So things are looking bullish on an indicator perspective. Also, on the 4-hour chart, you could see that the price has continually gone down and the MACD histogram has continually moved up, meaning that there's more demand in the market and it's just getting more and more pronounced. And so this is actually a bullish sign. This is a bullish divergence. And especially from here to here, this is a bullish divergence on the MACD. So on the 4-hour, this would be a really good time to buy. And same thing with the stochastic and the RSI. If this comes down just a little bit, moves up, I think it's a good buy. So let's look on the 1-hour chart, see if there is a good buying area for Ethereum. Yeah, I would think that if Ethereum makes a double bottom right there, comes up here, that would be a good trade right there. I really like Bitcoin a lot more than I like Ethereum right now, because it just seems way cleaner. Like this move, it just seems so much more cleaner than Ethereum. Like it's very simple. Huge resistance right here. So it comes down. If it busts through the resistance, that's super bullish. For Ethereum, it's like there's a huge resistance up here, but it's pretty far away. It's pretty far away. And the support area is not the same as it is. I guess because it was previous resistance, it is a pretty decent support area. So I would say this would be a pretty solid bet. You start off right here, right? You start off getting in down here, hoping that the SR flip on the bigger picture, if you remember the bigger picture, holds, right? So you hope that the SR flip holds. Then you target much higher. You hope that not only it holds, but that the price moves above this big resistance right here, this big SR flip right here. And if it does, then where would you target? Well, I'd probably have multiple targets. So my first target, honestly, this would be my first target, would be 1420. And my second target would probably be right here at the bottom of this cluster right there. This is a 3.63 trade, so decent trade. Decent, it's really good. And yeah, this is what I would do. This is definitely the type of trade that I would put on. Also, you could take the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, and this, yeah, I guess like this is that. So I would target this isn't the good spot. I would target this area, because this whole area is going to be resistance, right? So I'd want to get out before that. Also, I would probably raise my stop to break even once it got up here, because we're definitely gonna, not definitely, but we're most likely gonna see a big rejection from here, and I wouldn't want the rejection to come all the way down. You know, if it comes all the way back down, that's just terrible. So I would probably raise my stop once the price reaches this area and then just play it from there. But the most important thing is to look at the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart, because yeah, you have this setup on Ethereum and you also have the setup on Bitcoin, but which one has the higher potential? Which one do you think is going to be better? Well, that's where you could look at the Bitcoin Ethereum chart or the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart and determine which one to get into. And so if we go to the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart, let's look at it real quick. You could see that the monthly close, the 61.8, the major resistance, all that stuff, sell everything here, that happened. It tagged it, and then we started going down. And basically the range, actually, let me do this. So I have the range, the range low, the range high in green and in red, but now I like to do this and have this be the range low and the range high. So I'll put this as the range, and this is the range. So pretty much what happened is we got the range high right here, followed by, let me do this, boom. There you go. Range high right here, range low established, range high, swept the highs, came down, swept the lows, came up, swept the highs again. And so we could even just do this, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we are on our way down. So where would the next target be? The next target would be the range lows right here. So this is where I think that we're going to be heading towards, and this is where I would target. However, this was a very, very big candle down, and usually we do have the bounces back up. So I want to be getting out on the, bounces back up. One thing that I don't like is the fact that on the lower time frames, you can see that this whole area right here is pretty big resistance. So I'm not sure if we will get all the way back up to 0.75 or even 0.74. We might end up just coming back up to 0.73, 0.725 even, and then reversing, because you could see this is some major resistance right here. So I would probably start scaling out of my altcoins right around here. And if we do get up to this area, I will definitely be selling all of my altcoin positions that I have in my trading account, because not only is this the big resistance right there, but this was the big resistance here and here and here and here, turned into support, here turned to support, here it turned to resistance, here it turned to resistance. So if it comes back up to this level, I'm out. I'm selling everything or selling all my alts and getting out of the market, and I'll target, down here. I'll target this previous support line that you could see had some nice support here, and I will target the range lows. And then if both of those fail, then the next target will be this huge area right here. And this ETH BTC chart is usually what indicates to me the general trend of the market. So the fact that this hit the resistance and it's on its way down, not good, generally speaking, from a macro perspective. And so that is the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. Finally, just a little bragging and boasting. On my last quick market update from just a few days ago, I did mention that Solana was most likely going to outperform Ethereum. And I said if you could get into Solana around $31, specifically $31.20, with a stop below these lows, you could target these highs. And check out what Solana has done so far. Came down, tagged the lows, tagged my entry position, and then bounced up from there. A solid 6%, 5.5% so far. So we'll see how far this runs, but things are looking pretty good for Solana. And just as a little recap, the reason why I chose Solana is because I checked the Bitcoin chart, I checked the Ethereum chart, and then what I did was I checked the Solana against Ethereum chart, and I noticed the Solana against Ethereum chart was looking way better than was looking very good. So that means that Solana is a much better play compared to Ethereum. And I want to get in. I said, I want to get in right here. This is the lower time frame chart. So I said, once this came up above this area, back above here, I wanted to get in on any type of retest and go into Solana. And Solana has outperformed Ethereum by 15% so far. So that is how you can use the Solana against Ethereum, or the BNB. I remember saying BNB. I was in BNB, And then I said that BNB was reaching the resistance, support, resistance, and it reached the resistance area. So I'd want to get out. It makes more sense to get out of BNB and then to go into Ethereum, or to get out of BNB and go into something else. Right here, this one did go back above it, but logically speaking, from a technical perspective, it definitely made more sense to sell BNB for Ethereum, or to sell BNB for literally anything else. Maybe Solana. Actually, it would make the most sense if you're in BNB, right? If you're in BNB, sorry, and you see that it's hitting the resistance against Ethereum, and then you notice that Solana is hitting the support against Ethereum, and you think everything is going to go up, then you could sell your BNB for Solana, and there's the potential that Solana will go up a lot more than BNB will. So I'm not sure if there is Solana against Binance Coin. But okay, so yeah, there is. And you could see that Solana has gone up against BNB over the last couple days. And so Solana would have been the better choice against BNB right here. Actually, wait a minute. This might be a pretty solid choice. It's very difficult to find things that do better than Binance Coin, than BNB, because BNB is literally a monster. But Solana actually might be on the path to doing much better than BNB very soon. So it looks like it's coming into some sort of apex. You can't really trust like the diagonals like that, but it's definitely at the horizontal support resistance area and just sticking around here. So I would probably rather be in Solana than BNB. And maybe there's other coins that you could look at to know, when to get in versus when to get out, or like when to get in certain coins compared to other coins. Solana against Bitcoin is at a pretty key level. And so, yeah, this is more advanced. This is really more advanced because you could just look at, the perps of the coins themselves and try to trade that. But if you want to extract more alpha out of the market, looking at them against other cryptocurrencies could provide you with that type of alpha. And I think with that, I'm going to sign off, and so I could make another video for you guys. But this is pretty much my market update. Things are looking short-term bullish. Overall, macro, I'm still bearish. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like it, subscribe it, and I'm going to be putting out a lot more content for y'all. And so I'll see you in the next video. Keep on stacking those sats. Keep on making those gains. Peace. Thank you.